That's where we want to go. So he gave hints of that right from the beginning. We just didn't pick it up, what it entailed. We picked it up in the sense that we could repeat it, but the depth of it we didn't get at the time. So, Prabhupada's power is undeniable in the fact that he's doing all that I just mentioned. Gurudev said in one lecture that somebody asked me a question that I was never asked before, and I gave an answer that I never gave before. They asked me, where is Srila Prabhupada Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur now? And I answered, he's everywhere, he's in every atom. Why? Because Govindam Adi Purusham Tamam Bhajami Andantarastang Paramanu Chayantarastam. He's Mahavishnu who breathes in and out innumerable universes, and he's so tiny he becomes the supersoul in every atom. So if Govinda is there in every atom, then all of his associates are also there. So we can't deny Prabhupada's power, but we don't want the separation. We want the intimacy. So one road to go is the intimacy of, let's say he has mistakes. That intimacy is, so-called intimacy, is very dangerous. To think the Guru is an ordinary person is the third offense in chanting the holy name, so how am I going to ever get perfection? And why should I follow his instructions? Maybe it's a mistake. Maybe he has imperfect senses. Why should I follow him? So it has a lot of insidious, pernicious undertones to that idea. So how can I become intimate with him? Number one, he has so many endearing relationships with the devotees that you read about in the different biographies. I also have the first few years of myself with Prabhupada on a website called The Art of Spiritual Life, one word, either .com or net, where I have from 66 to 70 or 71, and the others I just have to edit further and then I can put it on. So you see many endearing things, but it's dangerous to go to the place that you were mentioning. So because that is thinking that he's an ordinary person, because an ordinary person has 4 defects.
Yeah.
So to think that he has the 4 defects, how can he write his scriptures? What's the value of them?
But maybe this is...
Therefore, we can have an intimacy in another way. You want the intimacy, and you're right. I don't want to interrupt you. What were you saying?
No, continue.
So I can either bring Prabhupada down to my level and we can have an intimate relationship, or I can go up to his level and have an intimate relationship. I can become one of those people who are associating with him in that intimate place, which is the goal of life, which is the mission that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give, which Srila Rupa Goswami, Shri Chaitanya Manobhistyang Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. That is, I offer my obeisances to Srila Rupa Goswami, who established in this world the innermost desire of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his mission, what he wanted to give to the world. And all the followers, all the Rupa Nuga Vaishnavas, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Srila Narottam Das Thakur, they're all giving the same mission. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, our Srila Prabhupada, his sannyas guru. The sannyas guru, what is the sannyas mantra? It's a mantra for Gopi Bhav, which Srila Prabhupada received from Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, who is Srila Gurudev's Diksha Guru. So there's 2 ways to become intimate with him. One is to see his endearing human-like pastimes in this world and know that he's not making a mistake, although we may think he is by our imperfect senses. For example, in the Nectar of Instruction, verse number, I'm not sure, 8 or 9 maybe, it says that one should, or 6, I forget, one should, just as like one should see the Ganges River as always pure, even if there's bubbles and foam and mud looking like it's in the Ganges, one should know that the Ganges River is always pure, never contaminated or touched by impurity. And similarly, the pure devotee is also never touched by the imperfections of a conditioned soul. Even if it looks like he's getting angry or he has some physical apparent defect, he's always perfect and pure. He may look like he's walking with a cane, but if he wanted to fly, he could. So both ways we can see him in that intimate way. Why did he get sick? Apparently, so that we could worry about him. And how do I know that it's apparently? Because I read it in his book. In the Adi Lila chapter perhaps 9, where it talks about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's tree. It talks about Madhavendra Puri. When he was, just before he was leaving the world, he was weeping. And Ishvara Puri was cleaning his stool and urine and telling him, because he couldn't move, and telling him the pastimes of Krishna. And he had another disciple who was not a good disciple, named Ramchandra Puri, who, Ramchandra Puri? Who said to him, Gurudev, why are you weeping? Thinking that he was weeping for material way, oh, I'm dying, I'm sick, I don't feel good. Why are you weeping? Just meditate on the impersonal Brahman and realize that you're beyond all that. So when he heard that from his disciple, he said, get out of my sight, I never want to see you. If I see you at the time of my leaving this body, I don't know what will be my destination. And he cursed him, and that same Ramchandra Puri became an offender to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates. Remember, he's the one who said, look at all those ants. What do they mean? It means that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was eating too many sweets. So, why did I say that? Right. So, Madhavendra Puri, he saw him in a material way. Ishvara Puri saw him in a spiritual way. And so Ishvara Puri was blessed that he would become the spiritual master of God himself, be glorified by God himself. God himself would go to his birthplace, Ishvara Puri's birthplace, take the earth and eat a little bit of it every day. So I can see Prabhupada became sick in order for us to realize that Prabhupada, he's not, so in the Chaitanya Charitamrita it says, similarly, the pure devotee may look like he has some disease, but he doesn't. He's always beyond the three modes of nature. But why does he do it? To increase the love of his disciple, to see him both ways. Like Madhav Maharaj knows that Gurudev is what he is. And at the same time...
But some of them may say that it is some kind of pretending. And it is not...
You can say that Krishna is pretending when he weeps that Mother Yasoda chastises him. But it's his love, it's his human-like pastimes. It's inconceivable. Of all the tattvas, Guru Tattva is the most inconceivable.